Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a beautiful night here at Roosevelt Field. My name's Dave Fazzini, and along with Mark Kolodinsky, we are bringing you some hard-hitting, rivalry-based action between the Norristown area Eagles and the Upper Merion Vikings. It is homecoming, as you can see, by the pomp and circumstance, the panoply of ornate musicians behind me. And Mark, tonight, with a bitter rival, coming off of an unrepentant destruction of a terrible, terrible team. What's Norristown going to do tonight, and what do we look for here under the lights at historic Roosevelt Field?
First thing that I'm going to look for is the crowd to be a factor, because for the past couple of home games, attendance has been low, but now it's homecoming. It's a beautiful day. The crowd's going to be behind this team. It's going to be a great atmosphere here on homecoming, and Sheldon Mayer's been doing it all season. I expect him to have another big day. Sam Kelliger was huge last week. He's been getting better and better as the season goes along. And Upper Merion Vikings have a very tough defense, so we'll see how Mayer and company match up against them.
Well, as you said, the crowd promises to be a factor, and it long has been in this storied rivalry. Upper Merion, once a ferocious team, filled with fierce thanes as in the days of old. Their very name, the Vikings, indicates a certain ferocity, a certain Beowulf-esque power, smashing mead benches, and unrepentant destruction. However, Upper Merion has fallen on hard times of late, and after a playoff run several years ago, Upper Merion's fortunes have changed for the worse. Norristown at 4-2 and Upper Merion at 4-2 both appear very evenly matched here tonight. But if this crowd at historic Roosevelt Field gets pumped up, fired up, and gets engaged in the action, it could be over real soon, because Norristown has a powerful offense.
And Norristown goes into this game hotter than Upper Merion, because Upper Merion's coming off of a loss, and Norristown's coming off of that huge game, as you said, the 41-13 victory over Plymouth Whitemarsh, and hopefully they'll have some momentum rolling from that huge victory.
It was at times tough to watch last week. It was a complete destruction. It was like watching a nuclear missile test. It was like being at ground zero of something completely horrible. Tonight, Norristown will see if they can reproduce the amount of destruction they unleashed in the fury that was last week's 41-13 destruction of the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials. So, for Mark Kolodinsky, I'm Dave Fazzini here pregame at Roosevelt Field. We'll see you in a few under the lights with some statistics and the pregame. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back here at historic Roosevelt Field underneath the lights and for homecoming. The crowd is coming in, filling up this historic venue. And the banner is out. The Spirit Eagle just went under the banner, allowing only the team to smash through it. And here they come, your local gridiron heroes, the Norristown Area High School Eagles. I'm Dave Fazzini, back with Mark Kolodinsky on Channel 28. Before we get things started tonight, we have some people to thank. The NAHS Communications Center at the high school would like to thank Miss Judy Schuda, Mr. Jim Weir, and Mr. Manicola, as well as the exemplary maintenance staff here at Roosevelt Field for allowing this production to take place tonight and doing such a great job in helping us out here. Also, the Norristown Area Eagles football team sponsored by Zones Catering, Future Signs, Villa, formerly Sneaker Villa, and K&S Lawn Care. Mark, we have a very exciting game here tonight, a very charged atmosphere, and a Norristown Eagles football team that means business.
Yeah, we've got an amazing atmosphere here tonight for homecoming. The stands looking pretty full now, and just imagine what they're going to look like a couple minutes from now after kickoff. And they've come to see Sheldon Mayer and the rest of the Norristown Eagles. Obviously, Sheldon Mayer has been the big storyline all season long, second in the area in rushing yards. And every game, it seems like he's breaking off big gains for touchdowns. And let's see if he can do it again against the very tough Upper Merion's Vikings defense.
Well, Upper Merion has been relatively parsimonious with the points. We have our national anthem coming up now. We have our JROTC presenting the colors, and we have our marching band under Johnny Trujillo presenting the national anthem. All right, the national anthem by the Norristown Area High School Eagles Marching Band under the expert direction of Mr. Johnny Trujillo. And it seems like everyone tonight wants to be a member of this Norristown Eagles football team. The class of 2009 sponsors fashioned jerseys so that they would have their class looking like their gridiron heroes. And hopefully, looking out in the stands and seeing so many people dressed like them will inspire the Eagles to fly and soar to even greater heights. Mark, you were talking about Sheldon Mayer and the fact that he has been such an integral part of the Eagles offense so far this year. When the Eagles have been successful, Mayer's run wild. But when Mayer's been unable to get on track, the Eagles haven't been so successful.
That's a great point. And so obviously it's going to be important to establish him early and establish him often. Last week, 182 yards on just 14 carries in the blowout win over Plymouth Whitemarsh, and didn't even play the entire game as the second unit was brought in. It still scored 2 touchdowns and amassed those 182 total yards. But this week we mentioned a couple times how tough the Vikings defense can be. They're allowing just 14.5 points per game, and an interesting statistic right here. The Upper Merion Vikings defense have allowed 7 or less points on 4 different occasions, and they have 4 wins. And those 4 games, are they allowed under 7 points, or they're 4 wins. So that's definitely a key for them.
That's an interesting statistic, Mark. And Norristown has definitely been scoring more than 7 points per game. So it's up to James Ramsey and Sheldon Mayer to see if they can get those points on the board in a hurry and hopefully for Norristown be able to put some kind of effort out there like last week. Captains for tonight's game. For the Norristown Eagles, number 15, Sheldon Mayer. Number 11, Mike Good. Number 62, Jimmy Gallagher, and number 68, Curtis Haley. For the visiting Upper Merion Vikings, number 9, starting quarterback Alex Fanthavong. Number 31, starting running back Pete Panici. Number 33, tight end Colin Fennelly. And number 53, offensive lineman Greg Greenaway. The referees are congregating at midfield. The beautiful tall fescue grass here at historic Roosevelt Field is gleaming under these bright lights, and we are ready for some football as the Spirit Eagle gets together with the Norristown Area High School Eagles and gets them ready to play.
So both of these teams come in here with a record of 4-2, so both of their playoff aspirations very much alive. So this a very crucial game between the Upper Merion Vikings and the Norristown Eagles, and the Eagles now taking the field.
It's interesting, Mark, some of the changes that have been made in the kicking game. 3, Dinalfi and Williams, number 24, are still back there. But look at the deep man. Number 10, Sam Kellijor, who had a huge return last week. Kellijor's speed could be really crucial in breaking things open early for the Eagles.
Yeah, he had that 68-yard return. Didn't get all the way to the house, but it was huge in setting up a touchdown. And it seems like from Kellijor every week he's just building on what he did the previous week. It seems like he's having a better and better week each game. And last week, he had that interception, that big kick return, a touchdown catch of 33 yards, and he even carried the ball 3 times. So Kellijor is really a big play weapon, and he can strike at any time. It's a surprise onside kick to open the game.
Terrible.
And the Eagles fall on it. So the idea is C.J. Douglas on the recovery. The Vikings try to go with a little trickery early on, and it does not pay off.
That is a very, very bad move and a very poor strategic play for the Vikings, and let me tell you why. Norristown's offense is too explosive to do something like that so soon. That is an act of a desperate team that doesn't think it can win.
The Eagles will start just shy of midfield. 12 minutes on the clock, and we're ready to go here at Roosevelt Field for homecoming. And James Ramsey begins the game, 1st and 10, in a shotgun with 4 wide receivers. He'll take the snap from Captain Jimmy Gallagher and hand off to Mayer, and he bursts ahead for about 4.
Upper Merion's enthusiastic about holding Mayer to a 4-yard gain. That might be the only time you see a team really celebrating holding someone to 4 yards. 2 key things have happened so far in the first 18 seconds, Mark, that make me think that Upper Merion is not very confident. The onside kick, an act of desperation to start, and then cheering a 4-yard gain. That's not the hallmark of a team that thinks it can win.
So the Eagles come back out now with 3 wide receivers. One of them, Sheldon Mayer, in the slot. Here's Ramsey, and he hands it off. This is Kellijor, and he's able to pick up another 3.
Operating out of the shotgun, it's a formation that the Eagles have had a love-hate relationship with. The Eagles, James Ramsey is a very mobile quarterback, and he likes to roll out. It's great when he's in the shotgun because he has room to run. However, the center-to-quarterback exchange sometimes for the Eagles this year has been a bit of an adventure, much to the consternation of head coach E.J. Smith. So it'll be interesting to see tonight how much they go to the shotgun and whether or not that quarterback to the center-to-quarterback exchange continues to be a problem for the Eagles.
Eagles go big with just 1 wide receiver and 3 in the backfield. They'll hand it off to Mayer. Goes into a crowd, and it looks like he might have picked up the first.
It's going to be close depending on the spot. Not sure how much I like that call. They're not going to give it to him. He's going to be marked a couple yards short. Looked like Ford Progress pushed him up, but the Eagles are going to be looking like they're going to be going for it here on 4th and 2. Not sure how I feel about this call, Mark.
It's definitely a risk early on, but nonetheless, they'll try it.
The Eagles definitely think they can run on this team. They've tried 3 running plays, and it's just a matter of seeing if Mayer can break one open early.
Well, they come out with a big-time running formation. Mayer in the backfield. He gets the handoff and plows past the marker and picks up an additional couple of yards. And the gamble pays off as the Eagles have enough for a 1st down.
That was a great surge about the right side of that offensive line. They like to run Mayer to the short side of the field. However, they go to the tight end that time. They ran off tackle, picked up the nice yardage. Mayer is great when he gets room to operate. but he's also able to use his quickness to exploit gaps in situations where you wouldn't think another running back will be able to get out of. So Mayer, very elusive, very quick, and really able to follow his blockers and do good things when he sees daylight.
1st and 10. 9.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Ramsey in an I form. He will hand it off once more to Mayer. Tries to go outside, breaks a tackle, and now he's hit over by the sideline and knocked out after a gain of 3 or 4.
Looks like Norristown's attack is going to be a little more predicated on ball control than it's been. Coach Smith kind of feeling out the Upper Merion defense, allowing Mayer to pick up yards in groups of 4 and 5 instead of in groups of 30 or 40, as Mayer is maybe more accustomed to doing. So it'll be interesting to see if Coach E.J. Smith continues with this kind of clock management strategy.
Last week, quarterback James Ramsey threw the ball only 9 times. Now, he was out of the game for a short time at the end, but 9 passes, not very many. Ramsey hands it off once more. Mayer bursts to the outside, breaks a tackle, and can't escape number 33, Colin Fennelly. He is a captain and a senior for this Vikings team. And Mayer with a solid gain of about 10.
Yeah, Mayer moves the sticks again. And the strategy so far seems quite clear. There have been no passes. So even though Upper Merion plays like an old school two-way, they only have 30-some guys on the team, Coach E.J. Smith is obviously trying to tire them out and playing a ball control offense.
1st and 10 once again for Ramsey and his offense. He'll give it to Kelliger, who was lined up as the fullback, and he gets a couple.
Even though this is an unconventional approach for the Eagles, I still like it. They're controlling the ball, and they're doing something that's too often done to them. They're keeping the ball. They're running it. Normally, the first couple series, the Eagles' defense has been unable to keep it from being run down their throats. They're returning that favor, and they're doing a good job here so far. The offensive line is firing off, and they're picking up 4 or 5 yards a carry.
They're all the way down to the Vikings' 21 now, just grinding it out, picking up 4 and 5 yards at a time. Let's see if they continue that trend here. 2 wide receivers to the far side, and they give it to Mayer. Through the middle and met at the line. That's a big hit right there by number 53, Greg Greenaway.
Greenaway puts a big hit on Mayer there, very little yardage. He got every linebacker's dream. It's to smack the running back right in the mouth as he sees him without a guard or tackle pulling in front of him. Normally, you're going to have a guard being able to pick up that weak side backer. Greenaway had a shot, and that's Merry Christmas for a good linebacker.
So it'll be 3rd and 4. Now 7.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Roby is all alone out there, and he's got a lot of speed. That's a dangerous move with no deep coverage.
Ramsey in the shotgun, receives the snap. He's back to pass. Rolls out to his right, throws it to the sideline, and it's incomplete, intended for Anthony Roby.
He was looking Roby all the way, but he just couldn't get it to him. Looked like there was a little bit of a mix-up, and Roby ran the wrong route. So Roby and Ramsey were unable to hook up there. But when Roby is all alone, look out, because he's too fast to be single covered. James Ramsey's hurt.
Definitely not a good development for the Norristown Eagles. They need their senior quarterback if they want to be successful. The trainers will head out to take a look.
He appears to be holding his left leg, and hopefully this is nothing serious. James Ramsey is down, and it does not, and he lays down on the field. It doesn't look good for James Ramsey here, but hopefully he's okay, and Dennis Flynn can get him back in action. While we have a moment, let's just take a minute and talk a little bit about the homecoming festivities. Tonight we're going to crown a new homecoming king and a new homecoming queen, and a lot of people come out, and a lot of people really enjoy the pageantry, and it's always very exciting. The band also tonight coming out, supporting the Norristown Eagles and putting on a good show in their own right. The Norristown High School Marching Band always does a good job under the direction of Johnny Trujillo. So we have the drum line going, we have the horns blaring, and putting on a good show here tonight. And like I said, hopefully everything is okay with James Ramsey. He gets up with the team doctor and Dennis Flynn And it'll be interesting to see what happens here and whether or not Ramsey can come back in this game.
Backup quarterback is number 14, Shannon Mayer, freshman. And here they come up to the line. So the Eagles going for it on 4th and 4. They line up with 3 in the backfield, and the snap is dropped. Let's see if they are even able to get back on top.
That's what happens when you have something that upsets the apple cart, when you have a confounding variable, as they say in statistics, something that really, really messes things up, that can throw things into disarray for this football team. Ramsey and Gallagher have a good connection to center to quarterback exchange. Throw somebody new into that mix, big trouble. And now the Eagles defense has got to do their job.
We saw that same problem when Jimmy Gallagher got hurt and a new center had to be put in. They had some trouble snapping the ball, and now Upper Merion on offense. The handoff is to Panici, and minimal gain on 1st down.
Ramsey really forces defenses to focus on the fact that he can run and he's got a strong arm to get it deep. If Ramsey's not in there, teams don't really need to respect the pass as much. So the heat is on for number 14, Shannon Mayer here, to see if he can make Upper Merion's defense respect the pass and not just be able to key on Sheldon Mayer and the other speedy Norristown backs. Norristown's defense, even though they're in good position here, they've got to do their job and possibly even force a turnover.
Motion for the Vikings. Quarterback Alex Fanthavong tosses it to Panici, and in the backfield is Mike Good to spill him for a big loss.
Mike Good just saw that play coming all the way, and he ruined that kid's day right there. He just ate him for breakfast, and that was really hard to watch.
Exploding off the corner, and now the ball all the way back at their 20. That's a loss of about 6.
Mike Good is a very, very fast, explosive, and aggressive. Upper Merion's not fooling anyone by trying something cute like that.
Just under 6 minutes to go in the 1st quarter. Play action. Here's Fanthavong with Haley in his face. Goes deep, and it is incomplete. Double coverage on the play. Mayer and Williams, the 2 running backs who double as defensive backs, doing a nice job covering number 8, Dexter Bridge.
We talked about this a couple weeks ago during, I believe it was the Springford game, when we talked about Sheldon Mayer as a shutdown corner. You can't throw on him. He's too elusive for that. So what you have to do if you're going to beat Mayer open in the flat, you've got to get the ball to him where people cannot, they don't have to get deep. You're not going to get deep on Sheldon Mayer. Throw it in the flat and worry about the short game. Going deep on Mayer, it's not going to happen.
We saw him intercept the pass last week. And now here's Dexter Bridge to punt it. It's a kick down to about the 35, or the 45, excuse me, of the Eagles. And we'll see where exactly it went out of bounds. But a decent kick by Dexter Bridge. We saw him go deep on that pass attempt, and now we see him as the punter, and the Eagles will start with good field position. No indication who's coming out for quarterback here for the Eagles. Number 14, Mayer, is coming out now. I don't see James Ramsey. It's got to be tough for him on homecoming in front of all these fans in his senior year. But now it's Shannon Mayer, the freshman, who's going to get an opportunity to try to improve his worth. Good in motion. And they hand it off, but there's a flag before the play. One of these teams jumped. Let's see who it was. Norristown's offensive options are really, really limited, especially if they're going to continue to have problems with the center to quarterback exchange. So hopefully Shannon Mayer can get it together and be able to get on the same page with Jimmy Gallagher in a hurry, or this could be a long and frustrating game for Norristown's offense. It was the Vikings defense who jumped, so 1st and 5 for the Norristown Eagles. Mayer tosses it. Here's Mayer trying to find space around the edge, and he's grabbed around the ankles, and it's a gain of 0.
One thing you notice, and it might be partially due to the inexperience of the quarterback, the pitch took a long time to develop, and it was clearly telegraphed. Swinging his arms out and pitching it to Mayer doesn't allow for any element of surprise. So you know where Mayer's getting it and where he's going to go. The pitch has got to be quicker than that. Mayer can do a lot of things in open space, but you have to give him a fair shot, and you have to let the play develop.
So the ball at their own 46, the Eagles come up to the line with 2 wide receivers and 2 running backs. Mayer under center. Fakes it to the other Mayer, and now he'll throw deep to Good. Good. Did he catch it? No, it came out at the last second. And surprisingly, the Eagles give Mayer an opportunity to throw the ball down the field, and it's incomplete.
There looked like a little bit of contact before the pass there. Not quite sure if that was quite pass interference, but it was right on the borderline if it's not.
And that was not a good throw, as it was well underthrown, and Good and the defender had to stop and wait for the ball. And they're lucky that that one wasn't picked off, because that was basically a jump ball.
That was a jump ball, and it was only the skill of Mike Good and his athleticism that prevented that from being picked.
Shannon Mayer under center, Sheldon Mayer in the backfield. Mayer back to throw again, and it's tipped at the line, nearly intercepted by number 53, Greg Greenaway.
What do you think about that, going for that on 4th down there instead of punting?
It's certainly questionable, to say the least, and with Shannon Mayer back there, inexperienced young quarterback, they trust him to throw the ball to prevent the Vikings from having great field position, and it doesn't work at all.
Bring it up to 4th down. I don't know about that screen pass there.